Hey guys, thanks for stopping by for another video here at All I See is W, where we talk about stocks, Bitcoin, and finance. In today's video, I would like to share with you my overall updates on where I think Bitcoin can go in terms of its price heading into the new year. Where's the top off? And what I want to cover today is a Bitcoin mining company that is CleanSpark, ticker CLSK. What we saw today across the entire stock market in the Bitcoin sector, especially in the Bitcoin mining sector, was just red zone all across the board. I mean, with CleanSpark today, it dropped by about 5%. Now, I actually took the opportunity to continue dollar cost averaging, buying in, just considering this as a discount, buying when others are fearful, especially when the relative strength index is at its low point, oversold. This is where I'm taking advantage. Why am I doing that? Because I believe that as we head into the new year, we're going to see Bitcoin reach its all-time high. And I'll go through the details on how far I see that going now that we're in that mature state of the bullish cycle of Bitcoin. And it's not going to continue going up for the long-term course of the year. There will be some point where it'll start going back down, and I will share with you where I'm going to start considering, making alternative plays. Uh, Today, we'll talk about the overall technical analysis of CleanSpark as well as go through updates with the price of Bitcoin and where I see CleanSpark headed as we head into the new year. Now, if you're new to this channel, I would really appreciate you hitting the like, subscribing for more related content. Let's begin first off by just looking at the details here that I'd like to share with you. So we're looking at a graph here on the forecast of Bitcoin. So here we see the Fibonacci line in blue here. This would just be based on the high points back in like 2017, along with that resistance point of 2021 all-time high Bitcoin cycle. That Fibonacci line is at around that 120,000, 125,000 high point range as we head into the new year. Of course, we saw the high points reaching that resistance close to about, like that 70,000 marker. And then as we headed into 2022, we saw that bleed out, which we saw that bottom of 2022. And as we headed into 2023, it started appreciating with that consolidation. And before that inauguration, starting in April onward to like October, we saw that bounce up. And just with that 4 month of heavy consolidation, right when we got to November, it bounced up. Now, most of you are wondering how high can it go? Just based on this forecast here, we're seeing that trend chart, where it's going to likely reach that 120,000 zone. That seems to be like the psychological resistance where once it reaches that, there's potential for it to go down. Just looking at it from a contrarian perspective, I think that that line here, that Fibonacci line of $125,000 will likely be achieved. But once it reaches that Fibonacci of like 122,000, then it may start going back down. Like what this article is saying is that there's moon boys predicting 200,000, 300,000 in 2025, but that's really impossible. I mean, it is possible, but less possible is what I'm trying to say here. Given the fact that the market cap of Bitcoin is relatively high, we see Bitcoin close to about $2 trillion right behind Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple, and gold. So I think that once it reaches that Fibonacci line, that is going to be around the 125,000 zone, then I think we're going to start seeing that red candle start coming in. But with that, I think that for it to hit the 125,000 zone, we can't time when that's going to happen, but I'm thinking it's going to be beyond February timeframe. February through, I would say, May is my assessment. And of course, it can go longer. It can even break through these numbers here, especially with all of the variables coming into play. But I do think that this depiction here gives you the most probable, like realistic assessment. Getting to that 125,000 zone is where there may be some potential drop-offs. And what does this mean when it comes to miners, right? I mean, just looking at CleanSpark here, I mean, we're looking at the overall weekly charts of CleanSpark. At one point, we saw CleanSpark get up to about $24 back in Q1 of this year, around March timeframe. And we've just been seeing higher lows and lower lows here, right? With the low points here with the support levels. And just zooming in here, just with 3 month chart here, we just see that continued descending resistance here, especially around the November time frame. So it was at like $17 around Trump era when he got announced president, when he won the election, and just, just with that consistent bleed out over the last couple of weeks here. And I have the support line here at like 947, and we see that it's getting close to that testing zone, but I do think that the 940 will be like that potential bounce back area. We may see it go down even further, but I think that just because it's been dropping for quite some time now, I think that we're going to see that bullish signal kick back in here as we head into January timeframe. But I think that we still have some steam in the miners here, especially given that Bitcoin is going to break through that all-time high as we head into the new year, especially with January, February being the key months to see how much of a reversal pattern that we'll see with the Bitcoin. But I think that CleanSpark, there's that potential to start ramping back up that V shape. I'm anticipating in the next couple of weeks here, 4 to 5 weeks, we can see that retest into like that 20, $25 range. So I first have the yellow marker here, the resistance at $16, which we can see in early January, mid-January. But I'm thinking that as we head into like that March, February timeframe, or even sooner, we can get to that retest level of like the February, March timeframe, getting up to like that $24 buy zone, especially if we see Bitcoin creeping back up to like the 108,000 all-time high and then start running back up. That's why I have conviction in miners like CleanSpark. I actually dollar cost average took advantage of the red days with CleanSpark, and that's why it was a shopping day for me. So here was a posting on X by me, and if you're on X, I would encourage you to follow me here at alliseeisW. You can find me there, but I have a posting here. It's shopping day, buying low with CleanSpark. Around that time, $9.83. You see that RSI there. It got below that 20 RSI, extremely oversold. But I do think that there's that potential to pop back up in the near term course. Here, just to keep in mind that H.C. Hainwright, according to a Business Insider article here, that there was a buy rating on CleanSpark with a price target of $27. So let's say $9 share price, that's close to about 200% gains based on this price forecast alone. So that's one thing not to ignore here. And also another article here, BTIG maintaining a buy rating of $22. So that's at about 125% gains based on that more conservative price target assessment. Let's take a look at just overall details on the company outlook here. So just 4 days ago, CleanSpark, they exceeded their 24 year-end guidance of 37 exahash. And now with that convertible note that they got approved, 650 million, they're not buying Bitcoin with that, but they're using that to fuel their overall strategy to bolster their exahash to 50 exahash expected first half of 2025. Given the fact that they have a fixed cost of Bitcoin at like less than 40,000 per Bitcoin mine. That's to pay power off the grid charges. The rest is positive proceeds into their balance sheet. The fact that they do have a fleet efficiency improvement of like 19 to 17.7 joules of terahash based on the release of this article, they are really just ramping up their operational efficiency and mining, close to about 650 Bitcoins per month. We know last month, just like taking a look at the numbers, they mined 622 Bitcoins. So at a rate of 21 Bitcoins per month, given the fact that they just energized more hash at 37 exahash, I'm anticipating that we're going to see that rise in the Bitcoin number in the next week once they announce their December production data. The fact that they're like one of the top ranked Bitcoin miners in terms of HODL, getting close to about 9,000. I think they're ranked number four right now, right? They're behind Hut 8, and then Riot is number two, and Mara is ranked number one with miner HODL. CleanSpark is positioned to start climbing up that ladder. I think they're going to get back up to rank number three, bypass Hut 8, especially with their high production rate, acquiring, mining Bitcoin at a fast rate each month. So there you have it. I think that just with CleanSpark, as we look at the potential buy here, while Bitcoin hasn't finalized its bullish cycle, I think there's more to come in 2025. We see that surpassing that 120,000 range based on the Fibonacci of Bitcoin. I think that we have that potential for that bounce back. There's going to be a lot of people looking into the miners. These last couple of weeks, it's been just blood on Wall Street, but I actually took advantage, and I'd like to hear what your assessment is. Did you buy? Did you sell? Did you hold? What's your strategy? I look forward to your comments. Thank you, guys.